What's up, beautiful people? It's your girls, Leanne. We are coming to you live. No, we're not live. We're recorded, but it feels live because we're live. You're not live. It's a Heart-Based Community podcast series, number 20. This has been going on for a while. And if you haven't subscribed already to my YouTube channel, please click the link and subscribe also, because I'm waiting to come to 100 subscribers so that I can have my name there so it's easier for people to find me. So we're getting really close. And today we have our guest, Wendy Demos. How are you?
I'm so well. I'm coming in live from Ajijic, Mexico. Happy to be with you.
Yeah, so BC's meeting Mexico. And viewers, I just want you to know that I've been doing my 300-hour yoga program, and I came through my chapters with chanting, and then I saw Wendy post about her heart was singing to the heart. What was the poster about?
Well, it's called, my band is called
Okay, chant your
chantyourheartopen.com, Chant
heart
Your Heart
open.
Open. And on that page, I posted chanting and how if you chant for 3 minutes, what are the benefits? If you chant for 7 minutes, what are the benefits? And on and on and on. If you chant for 2.5 hours, what are the benefits? So, yeah,
Hmm.
I'm excited to talk with you about that. Not like I basically go by how do I feel after I chant.
Hmm.
And during my training, Kundalini Yoga training, we were taught that, 7 minutes, 11 minutes, those are kind of standard times to devote to each mantra. At least 7 minutes, at least 11 minutes.
Hmm. Yeah, it's amazing. I mean, I we'll just talk openly about chanting because I think that'd be a really nice feedback. And prior to doing that, why don't we just talk a little bit about you? So, you are here in BC. I met you through Conscious Living Radio at an event at Andrew Resmer's house, and that's how we connected the first time. Why don't you tell us a little bit about your story of how you got out to where you are right now?
Oh, how did I get to Mexico? You
Yeah.
mean, or musically or everything?
Yeah, just go a little bit into yourself, your story, your music, and then like the travel. I mean, like your lifestyle change.
It did. Well, it seems like it would be appropriate to just talk a bit about how I got into chanting. And it started in when yoga first, I was living in Ottawa and yoga first came to Ottawa and they had hot yoga, Bikram yoga, Hatha yoga, and Kundalini yoga. So they were all new to me. So I tried them. They were interesting, but frankly, I'd rather play tennis. And then I tried Kundalini yoga, and it had such a spiritual component and such a beautiful mantras that were integral to the yoga method that my heart just fell, opened up wide, and I was determined I was going to become a teacher of it someday. I went to all the classes I could, and then just started touring with my music. At that time was not called Chant Your Heart Open because I hadn't embraced that as a part of me yet. And I was just Wendy Demos, a singer-songwriter, and touring across the country and down into California. And but the Kundalini Yoga teacher training kept staying in my mind. And there I was near Vancouver, exploring where I could possibly take this training. And lo and behold, I found Yoga West on 4th Avenue in Vancouver that only teaches Kundalini Yoga 7 days a week. And they used to have sadhana at 4 a.m. in the morning, every morning, 365 days a year, which is another beautiful practice, part of Kundalini Yoga. And
That's what's
and
called Yogi
I
Bhajan, right? Yogi
That's
Bhajan.
Yogi Bhajan. And
Yeah.
there's a big controversy about that now.
I know,
And
I know, I know. But you know what? We'll talk about because that's where you got first, the flame, the fire, the yoga, all those things opened up. So it's okay. I think the biggest thing, even when we talk about masters or gurus, they're also human in a human body. And no matter how much enlightenment they're going through, they're in their own journey with source. Good and bad is a really big topic. Good and bad, and like everybody's
Mhm.
story. If we don't know it all, we're better off not getting involved with all of it. And gossip is like the furthest thing from me because I really think I've seen myself change and go through ascension and go through so many phases of my own life that who am I to judge anybody?
Seriously, yeah, I
Right.
I hear you, and I feel for the people who have felt they had detrimental results because they dealt with Yogi Bhajan in whatever way. And I also know how I feel when I chant. I also know how I feel when I do Kundalini yoga, and it uplifts me. And I was never a big follower of him per se. Like he was just another person, but I loved the teachings,
Mm.
and that were more ancient than him. They've been around much longer than he has.
Mm.
So I just love what the music, mainly the music and the yoga, just still inspires me, and I'm still very moved by it. And hence I have my gig called Chant Your Heart Open.
Yeah, let's talk about that a little bit too, and then we'll talk about like the reflection of how mantras helped our life, even with the timelines of using it. So yeah, talk about your Chant Your Heart Open. So that started recently in Mexico, or?
Oh, Chant Your Heart Open started in 2014. And that was because I had just finished in 2012. I had finished or started and finished the next year, Kundalini Yoga teacher training at Yoga West in Vancouver.
Mm.
And it was then that I really wanted to learn about the mantras, be able to put them to music. And Hari Singh, he was the manager at Yoga West, and he was really inspirational. And we need more mantras about that talk about Satnam, for example. Satnam in Kundalini Yoga means truth is my name, truth is who I am.
Mm.
So I remember that inspired me. I said, "Oh, I'm going to write a mantra just about Satnam, because it's such a known expression in the Kundalini Yoga community."
Mm.
And that just started me. I just started taking all the mantras that I was learning about in teacher training and creating my own melodies. And it's still been a journey, because now here I am in Mexico, and what I find I've been leaning towards more is my singer-songwriter songs,
Mm.
and cover songs as well, songs by other people. I will sing them, and then we'll do a mantra after. And it's almost like a prayer about the song, because often love songs are, oh, you left me, oh my God, I'm so sad. And but these are beautiful songs and expressions of our humanity, and there's a way to also take those feelings and put them in a different light. And so I love to sing these songs and then offer a mantra at the end that maybe is a prayer or the antidote to the feelings that the song evokes.
This sounds like the same thing I was doing, like even all the practice that we have. Like you said, you talked about yoga, and I went through the same thing with Kundalini dance. So all the methods of Osho, many
Mhm.
masters I've been with on my journey, but the first time I really saw my mind for the first time was with dynamic meditations. That's your morning masculine cathartic movement, and like releasing yourself and getting everything out. But then the evening we would do Kundalini, and it was more feminine, more flow, and then like
Mm.
the shaking, like coming into the inner awareness of your nadis, and like everything shaking, and then the celebration of letting go. But I knew sharing that in the community, and then I knew what was happening, like with the other aspect of my personality that would go to work, that would hear music when I'm in the community, and I would find that middle way, like that whole Buddha mantra about the middle way of like in celebrating both, being present with both. But the same thing I was doing the modalities, I was like, when we were doing Kundalini yoga, I would say dance with your soul, because when I would hear music, that Kundalini yoga would open me up enough to celebrate with creativity or celebrate with creation. And that's my middle
Mm.
way. So I appreciate that, because it's the same, like we have to find that balance between what people talk about, the 3D or the 5D dimensions of what we can believe we're in any moment in mind state, right? So just that balance between languages, and like the ancient language and then the modern language and evolution. So it's like, how do you help the next generation understand this? Yes, they're going to have to get silent. Yes, they'll tap into something older, but the modernizing of anything is finding a connection between both, right? So I hear you saying that,
Beautiful.
like the
Yeah, it
connection of
sounds like
like,
you've gone.
yeah.
Oh, you're frozen.
Am I frozen on your side? It's clear here. Can you see me?
Yes, you just froze. Now you're back.
Okay, yeah. So it didn't freeze on this side, but yeah, you were gonna say something? Sounds like I had been.
I It sounds like you've had a really profound transition transitions over the last few years from the way you're speaking. A
Yeah,
lot of
it's the same here.
awarenesses.
Yeah. It's
Beautiful.
like, yeah, it's a lot, it's reflective. And I feel that, the conscious living community has a lot of people that were like, I see a part of me. Like, I'm like, oh, you get it. Like, oh, you get it, because we're finding that middle way, like with, sound, first of all, how beautiful even it is to wake up to sound. And then finding a mantra
Mm,
like Om, and the meaning how deep that can take us into our stillness. But then without knowing that it'll do that, just everybody wakes up and with their inhalation, they're like the first sound of the birds chirping in the morning, and how refreshing that is for them. Right. So sound therapy is such a beautiful thing to connect to our bodies and
mm.
healing. Right.
Oh, totally. And there's so many modalities and methods for sound healing now. You know, just a bell around silence can take you to another place. The gong, Theta Phoenix and her beautiful crystal bowls, and songs, just your straight chanting songs or singer-songwriter style.
So
All
talk
of
to me
it's
a little
so
bit more
important.
about like chant your heart open. Like talk about the expressions, I guess, of what you feel chanting has done with you, and like having to share that with other people in your experiences.
Hmm. Well, I find I have a very busy mind, and what helps me get out of the busy mind is chanting. So it's just, when my mind can get busy and it can be critical and judgy about myself, and of course, if I'm doing it about myself, I'm doing it about others. So, and it's not a comfortable place to be. It's not a healing, and so what helps me get out of that is a mantra, for a particular mantra that may be suitable for that mood that day. Would you like to know? Would you like to hear one,
Sure.
Leanne?
Yeah,
I
for
would love
sure.
to play one. Shall I play one on the
Yeah,
guitar? Do we have time
yeah,
for that?
yeah, sure.
Well, here's the real standard. Here's one that's just a great one I suggest to start the day. And I invite you to come and sing along. I'll just do it for a couple of minutes. Open my heart and soul. 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 That's it. Join in. Open my heart and soul. 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 Open my heart and soul.
Beautiful. I like that. I just like how it's so inviting, the power of words. And the words,
Mm,
we have to be really aware. Like the biggest thing I think my kids taught me a long time ago, it's like they would wear elastic bands where they would find themselves going to bad habits with swearing. And we'd be like,
okay.
reminder, reminder, right? And then I'm like, I always think like my kids are my teachers. So I'll be like, oh, okay, yeah, that's great. And we go through the fluctuations of all of our colors, like
Mm,
our all of our elements, from our depression all the way to joy. Like we have
mm,
all of these emotions. And so sometimes it is better to use the words that you need to use to let go. But then if it's
mm,
overused, you recognize you're not in flow, right? So yeah, I still feel like there's like that's fine line where a lot of people will be resistance to bad language. But I look at teenagers and they're like listening to this really, really cathartic sounds, or like death metal, or like things that are just expressions of their inner pain. But I'm like, if they're aware that that's moving out pain, and intentionally it's used for that, which I actually kind of find like these younger souls, like my kids are both musicians, and when they share their music and they talk about the intensity, it's more the rhythm or the drums that are behind the words, that they're really seeking that energetic movement inside, right? And even with chanting,
Right.
chanting your heart open would be those who have come to that awareness too, that, yeah, well, if you really want to make a difference in this world with where all the sadness or harm or shame or abuse is, choose your words and choose your vibration and choose your mantras that actually could help vibration.
Beautiful. Yeah, well said. And I just know for me that if my mind is busy, that what helps me the most is just saying, open my heart and soul, open my heart and soul, just as an example.
Yeah, it's really beautiful. Why don't we talk a little bit about that? So it was really beautiful when you had put that post, because I watch you anyways, and your poster was so beautiful too. Chant your heart open. It's so inviting, and you can see that you're happy and your heart's open, and you're sharing that with the world. Like, hey guys, look, just take this gift,
Mm.
in my life, and remember that these are tools that can help you on your day. One thing before we get into repeating a mantra, are you performing out there in Mexico? Like, what are you doing with your music?
I am. I'm so blessed. I'm playing with a fabulous violin player that's local here in Mexico, Juan Pablo Medelis. And together, yeah, he's really a big part of my Chant Your Heart Open now. And everywhere we play, it's the two of us at least. Sometimes there's also added bass or whatever the gig requires. But yes, I'm having a lot of fun. I'm really enjoying bringing the sounds and new songs and new sounds to my folks and friends here in Mexico.
Beautiful. And then, so with chanting, repeating a mantra for, so audience, like 3 minutes is affects the electromagnetic field, the circulation and stability of the blood. So that's interesting. How it can just go right into like, even how our blood is flowing, and like all the electricity in our body, our nadis, our energy, our pranic field. And then 7 minutes causes the brain patterns to begin to shift and the magnetic field surrounding the body to increase in strength. So sound is actually giving us
Okay, you
strength.
froze again. So I'm not hearing you.
I can hear you. I think you're having a little bit of Wi-Fi issues on your side.
Maybe I'm going to try something. I'm going to put it on my
I hear you. There you go. You're good.
I'm going to
Anyways, honest, while we're still recording, I'll talk a little bit about this while she's coming on her end, about the 7 minutes causes brain patterns to begin to shift and the magnetic field surrounding the body to increase in strength. So that's pretty cool. While her camera gets adjusted, I'll talk through the minutes of repeating a mantra for 11 minutes begins to transform the nerves and the glandular system. There we go. Maybe we're restarting here. And then 22 minutes, the three minds, negative, positive, and neutral, begin to balance and begin to work together. The subconscious mind begins to clear. So I think that's pretty cool. 31 minutes allows the glands, breath, and concentration to affect all the cells and rhythms of the body. Endocrine secretions become balanced. 62 minutes stimulates the frontal lobe of the brain, pituitary and pineal glands. You work through the physical body, the emotions and mental states, and are now in communication with the aspects of divinity within self. So it's really powerful. So after an hour of chanting, which Wendy does, the Chanting Your Heart Open, I also suggest to add her and see what she's doing out in Mexico. And then 2.5 hours changes the psyche and its correlation with the surrounding magnetic field, that the subconscious mind is held firmly in the new pattern by the surrounding universal mind, you can totally remake your psyche. So while you just got a little bit disconnected, I went through all of the 3 minutes all the way up to 2.5 hours. So it's amazing. Like, you know, if you haven't had a chance to sit in mantra for a longer period of time, this is such a great offering to everybody to see that, like, just the awareness of the subtle body and then the purifying of our body, even being in that sound therapy, and then the renewal. So some people that feel like they need to go to Hawaii to renew, just sit and chant. Like, take a chance to allow these, you know, these methodologies to let the sun from within shine. You know, chant your heart open up that heart chakra, and allow yourself to feel, even with Om, the simple Om, like Om for an hour. Like I think for 2.5 hours, you'd have to be like Om Mani Padme Hum, Om Namah Shivaya, or you'd have to really get creative for a beginner. But I mean, myself, I've meditated up to like 10 hours in a row, and that's not for a beginner, you know. So there's asana methods that are for more advanced students, but for any students that are just on their internal journey. And it's not about how long we do anything too. So even though it's giving us a breakdown, it's the experience that you get in that moment that you'll never forget. This is that, you know, it's that glimpse, like, and those little glimpses will have their own way to your consciousness to say, hey, I'm in there. Hey, hear me, feel me, see me. And then when you're not feeling it, come back to me.
Beautiful. Yes. Yes. I have students here. I have students online. If you ever, Leanne, want to, or anyone, you want to chant with me, let's make a date.
Yeah, we could actually make a Zoom date, or maybe we can encourage people to come in and all of us have a chanting Zoom party. So that could be next, you know, why not?
Yeah.
And all of us together shine more. So anybody that is seeing this video and have a moment to hear a little bit about what we're talking about, just directly message myself or Wendy and hear more about that, because it's a methodology, and we all need, the mind needs methods in order to master it, right?
Oh, yes, for sure. Well,
and they're never ending, because of like where you believe you are in the matrix of the reality, and your reality of what you perceive changes as you mature. And I'm just hoping in this moment, if you're looking for healing, or if you're looking for discovering new things about yourself, it's a really great technique. Did you want to sing another one? I think you got that guitar really warm. Do you?
I would love to. You're cutting out a bit, so I may cut out and
everything's fine on my side. Everything's fine.
I'm right
so
here ready to go. So I will. Let's
yeah.
Okay.
Fine over here. Yeah, it could be something that, but we're
You
not
can edit it beautifully. Okay, I'm gonna do, let me do one more. And this is one, and then we can, yeah, I don't know how long I'll be, this Wi-Fi will be stable, but I'll go as long as I can. And I invite you to mute your voice, because there's a delay.
Yeah.
If you're, once you sing with me, you'll need to mute, everybody who's listening will need to mute your voice. Or who, I guess it'll just be you, obviously, Leanne.
Yeah.
But yes, because there's a delay. So
Got it.
you can still sing, but of course. Okay, I'm going to start with a song. It's a little bit of a hard, you know, oh, life is rough. It's a cover song, and then I'm going to go into a mantra I created for the end of it. Okay?
Cool.
It's very short little verse, and then we'll go into the mantra. We are going, heaven knows where we are going. We'll know we're there. We will get there. Heaven knows how we will get there. We know we will. It will be hard, we know, and the road will be muddy and rough, but we'll get there. Heaven knows how we will get there. We know we will. right now, right now, right now. Heaven is in me right now, right now, right now. Heaven is in me right now, right now, right now. Join in as soon as you know. Heaven is in me right now, right now, right now. Can you feel the difference in the energy? Recognizing that heaven's in you right now.
Love it.
This is heaven when you would choose this. Heaven is in me right now, right now, right now. Now let's go back to that song and just feel the difference in energy. We have time to do that?
Yeah.
It will be hard, we know, and the road will be muddy and rough, but we'll get there. Heaven knows how we will get there. We know we will. Now to the mantra. Feel the difference. Heaven is in me right now, right now, right now. Heaven is in me right now, right now, right now. Can you feel heaven in you? Heaven is in me right now, right now, right now. One more. Heaven is in me right now, right now, right now. Ooh,
Nice.
ooh, ooh, ooh.
It's a breath of fresh air. It's really nice. You know,
Hmm.
I feel that, like, I was talking with other friends and helping a friend yesterday, and anybody that's passing through contrast in their life, or
Yeah.
a lesson that life is full of contrast or alignment, and we have to recognize that the contrast is helping the alignment. So,
Yes.
you know, so really depending on how much we're asking for, or that bigger change that we're trying to make in ourselves, outside of ourselves, it's that surrender and that trust to knowing that we are loved and that we are love.
Mm.
But
I love where you're coming from, Leanne.
yeah, and then but the other thing is, though, when you're in the contrast, it feels like the dark night of the soul. Like, I have friends that go through dark patches, and I was helping a friend through that yesterday, just saying, well, did you have solutions all the way up to now? Have you always had a solution? And finding that inner guidance, and like, we really need to give power to that little voice versus the repetitive noise. Like, that little glimpse is calling us, hey, I want to come up here and play.
Mm.
You know, because the contrast can be like, oh, I made a thought manifest and I'm stuck, but all you got to do is have a breakthrough, and break through with that inner guidance, because that guidance is constantly helping you through the wave of life, the lower and the higher vibrations, right? So I feel like that's what mantra can do for anybody that's really hearing this, and break your heart open with chanting, is to recognize when you come to that place where you get stuck, sing through it, dance through it, love through it, shake through it, move through it, or talk through it with people that you trust.
Yes.
Yeah. It's important to remind, because everybody has their moment. Like, today there's at least 24 hours of moments, and in each hour there's all these seconds of thoughts. that everybody's going through, and hopefully, you know, they're learning that you know, to master the mind, you need methods, and what your method
Yes.
is. If it's get to the gym, go sweat it out, kick it out.
And we forget so often. We forget, and then we can wallow in that, in those emotions and the thoughts, and we can believe the thoughts we're telling ourselves instead of remembering that heaven is in me right now.
Nice, very nice, beautiful. So Wendy, how can people reach you? You're on social media where? Just on Facebook or Instagram, or do you have anything?
I'm all of them. Just Google chantyourheartopen.com, and all the ways to reach me via social media are on that website, chantyourheartopen.com,
Nice.
or just Google and you'll find me.
Beautiful. Well, you know, it's been such a pleasure. I think this is one of my favorite posts. I had to copy and paste it because even for yoga or helping people with anything, the ability for all of us to wake up to a method like yoga and to truly come into a state of samadhi, there are gifts of that responsibility to reflect, because people come to us naturally like, you know, you have found that place, you found samadhi, I need help to get there. So what are the tools to get there? And like breathing, chanting, singing, stretching, dancing, shaking, and then observing, you know, just observing the sound, like being a good listener to that, healing us and allowing our body to feel, okay, where are we uncomfortable? Why? What happened? You know,
we all go there. You were mentioning that you know I've reached samadhi. I don't know. I still have busy mind. I still have to pick up the guitar and okay, Wendy, you're on some track. Let's do some mantra.
Well, the samadhi is you reach the full awakening of cosmic consciousness. Existence has its time for, but as we breathe and as the mind slows down and we come into our stillness, we reach samadhi within. The beauty of all of those aspects of like kundalini rising and understanding your chakras and understanding the body, understanding the mind, they're still going to be there. Even masters, I've seen a lot of masters, and even with their full awakening, there is a part of the body which still has to exist to maintain that full awakening. They're far more in the mind soul aspect of themselves, but to engage the body, to eat, there will still be some little bit of the mind there. You know, it's just a lot less, right? So it's important to say that, and it's important to recognize samadhi, because we are taking ourselves away from the knowing, because when we reach in silence, we've already got there. The thing is maintaining the sadhana and whatever practice works to celebrate life 24 hours a day, knowing we've already reached. At what level? Existence is being playful with us to give us that full showering of consciousness.
I like that. Existence is being playful with us.
Yes.
I like that.
I think your guitar likes it.
I was just thinking we could still go out. We could say goodbye by chanting. What do you think?
Why not? Let's close the doors with love.
Ah, beautiful. It's been beautiful chatting with you, Leanne.
You too, love.
Ready, everybody? Chant along and just notice how you feel after chanting this. Let's try it. Heaven is in me right now. Right now. Right now. Heaven is in me right now. Right now. Right now, heaven is in me right now, right now, right now, heaven is in me right now, right now, right now. Right now, right now, right now, heaven is in me right now, right now, right now, right now, right now, right now. Ooh.
Thank you, Wendy, so much. I encourage you all to check out Wendy, Chant Your Heart Open, and there's more to come. I guess we're going to have some fun soon, Wendy. I'll talk to you soon, and stay safe out in Mexico, and namaste.
Namaste.